Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. I am really excited to film this video because I just totally forgot to film this video, to be completely honest. I wanted to film it for a long time and then it just kept slipping my mind. And the other day, somebody commented on the first video I filmed about the RealReal, and it totally reminded me that I needed to film an update on my thoughts, what my opinion is, and all that stuff. So if you haven't watched my first video on the RealReal, I think maybe I even have a few RealReal videos. I will link all those down below so you guys can see those, so you can see what my thought was about a year and a half ago on the RealReal. So my initial thought on the RealReal is that it's a nice platform because you are selling the higher end stuff. So it is focusing on higher end stuff. So not all resellers have the ability to use the RealReal because it is a limited amount of brands. They have a brand list and you kind of have to follow those. So not everybody can use the RealReal, but if you can use the RealReal and you're thinking about it, then this is a good video for you because I'm going to share my thoughts on it. I've sold approximately 50 items my time with the RealReal, and I am at 55% commission. So I get 55% of how much the item sells for. I get 55% of that. And then the RealReal gets 45%. Now that is pretty steep, but I do understand they are doing all the work. They're taking the pictures, they're processing it, they're shipping it, they're doing all that. So I understand, even though it is pretty steep. When I work on commission basis, I guess I'm charging too little commission, because when I work on commission basis, I only take a 20% fee. I don't pay for the shipping for the item to me, but I do take a 20% fee. So 45% is steep, but I understand they're doing high quality pictures. You know, I get it. So I'm not gonna complain about the commission because, you know, people will have mixed opinions on that. What I do wanna talk about is it worth it for resellers? That's really what I wanna talk about. So my first few experiences with the RealReal were very good with their customer service and dealing with them. It was good. I have to say, the last time I dealt with the RealReal, I was extremely disappointed in how it worked out. So first, it took, for my box to be processed, it took about, I don't know, like 3-4 weeks. I felt that was a very long time. So it took a while for the stuff to be processed, which sucked because I already shipped it out. Then I waited 4 weeks for it to be listed. And then I was gonna have to wait to get my money anyway. So it kind of added to the time alluded for that. But what I was really mad about was, and this was like a few months ago, maybe in 2017, no, in 2018, because it says my last sale was in February. So it was around that time. It took them weeks for them to ship back the merchandise that they weren't taking. Like, I am literally talking about weeks. I'm not talking about days. I am talking about weeks, like maybe 6 to 8 weeks it took for me to get my stuff back. And that to me was extremely annoying. I was not happy with that. I sent everything in one box and it came back in like 4 or 5 different boxes. So that was also annoying because then I had to go through to make sure what I sent, did I get it back? That was really annoying. And every time I'd reach out, it was just, I wasn't talking to one rep, it was a headache. So I was really displeased with how the customer service aspect and how long the processing took. I was really displeased with that the last time. I don't know how it is now, but this is how it was for me. Another thing I really don't like about the RealReal, and I don't really think it's fair, honestly, I think they should take more of an approach like Tradesy does. Tradesy allows you to decide if you want to be a part of the sale. I understand that Tradesy is its own platform and you are listing your own item, and the RealReal is responsible for listing your item. However, they should give you an option if you want your item listed in the sale, because all my stuff, literally all the stuff that I've ever sold on the RealReal has only sold when it has been on discount. And I'm talking discounts from 20 to 50% off. So imagine you have an item, oh, and then, yeah, so here, I got raised into another, once I hit a certain threshold, and then I received 60% instead of the 55% commission I was getting. So yeah, so now my commission rate is 60%. I started at 55, or no, I'm so confused. Oh no, because now they changed something that if an item is less than 120, I think it's less. I'm not really sure how the commission works, but anyway, I'm not gonna talk about the commission. I wanna talk more about, is it worth it for resellers to sell? I don't think it is, because like I was saying about the discounts, it's so annoying that all of the stuff I sold except for one item was discounted between 20, I'm looking at my laptop, was discounted between 20 to 50%. 20 to 50%. Oh, one of them was even 60% off. That is so annoying, you guys. That is just really annoying to me because I didn't have a say in that. So that kind of bummed me out, to tell you guys the truth. I don't like how they have so much control. And as a reseller, you want to have control. I mean, I guess if you're sourcing things from the bins, then maybe it's worth it. But if you're just sourcing from, they're taking a high fee and then they're not even giving you any control. So that's really annoying to me. Now that I'm looking back at this, this is very annoying. All right, so I'm gonna give you guys an example. So Alexis is a brand that I've talked about in some of my hauls. Alexis sells really well for me on eBay. I don't know, I must have gotten caught up with like other people using the RealReal and other people talking about the RealReal, because I don't know why in my right mind I sent this to them. So they sold my Alexis dress for $30. So it was 50% off. So they had it listed for $60 and they sold it for $30. You guys, I only got $16.50 out of that. That is insane. Wow. Okay. Just Cavalli, a printed short sleeve shirt. They sold it for $26 at 60% off. And I only got $14.30 from it. Then a Tory Burch shirt. They sold it for $30 at 40% off. I only got $16 for that. So my experience, what I'm seeing is that my experience in the beginning of 2017 was much better with the RealReal than my experience later on in 2018 and the end of 2017. So if you go back to when I started, which I started selling, the first time I started selling was, and I'm also at the end of the video, I'm going to put like a screenshot video so you guys can actually go through and see how much every single item I sold for. So I am gonna put that at the end of the video. I'm just going through and discussing it. And then I'll put that at the end so you guys can see that as well. When I first started, the first item sold in April of 2017 was when the first item sold. So pretty much a year, like 10 months I was selling on the RealReal. The Tory Burch shirt sold for $52. It did sell on a 20% off. Can you not? Can you go over there or something? Sorry. Okay, so the Tory Burch sold at a 20% discount, but still, it sold at $52. It was like a cute tunic, so it sold at $52, and then I got a $28.60 payout. So that wasn't too bad for not doing any work. Then a Burberry shirt sold for $76 with a 20% off discount, so then it was $41. So my payouts in 2017, early on in April, were a lot better than, say, end of 2017, beginning of 2018, and it was all more or less the same brands and pretty much the same quality and style almost. So it's just a bummer because it seems like nothing on my end changed, because I was still sending the same type of stuff to them, but something on their end must have changed for my stuff to have dropped so much. You get what I mean? So I don't think it's worth selling on the RealReal if you are a reseller. Now, with that respect, I definitely think it is worth it selling on the RealReal. Like, let's say, you know, you like designer clothes and you have a ton of designer clothes in your closet. You know, yeah, you're gonna clean out your closet and you're a regular person, you're not a reseller. Yeah, I think it's great for you to send it to the RealReal. It's better than, you know, for that person than donating it, even though it sucks for resellers because then they wouldn't be able to source it. But at that point, I think it is better for them to do that. But as a reseller, I don't think it's worth it, especially with how the new way that they do things is. I haven't sold anything with them since February. Yeah, February of 2018. So yeah, I probably won't use them again. I can't even imagine people that are sending these super expensive bags. Maybe the commission is better, I'm not really sure, but people that are sending all these expensive bags to them, I can't even imagine them losing so much money on the item. I mean, it's just crazy. So that's my experience with the RealReal. Honestly, I was not happy with their customer service, with how they were processing things. It wasn't a pleasant experience, especially since I had to wait 8 weeks to then Actually, it was more than 8 weeks because by the time I sent it, then they processed some of the stuff. So between 8 to 12 weeks, I had to wait to get all my merchandise back. And at that point, it was like I had been so far gone from having my inventory that it was awful, because between all of that stuff and by the time I got my stuff back, it was just a bummer that I had sourced the stuff, you know, 3 or 4 months ago, and then I had to relist it that long. So you get what I mean, that my money was held for so long, and even though it wasn't much invested, it was just a little bit invested. Obviously it wasn't like a huge amount or anything because it was from a thrift store. It sucked because I wasn't able to, you know, profit on my purchases. So that was not very fun. So, you know, I think they need to figure out things with processing better. I think it's unacceptable for them to take that long if they're charging such a high percent. So I personally will not be using the RealReal for any other items. There's so many other websites to sell on. If you don't want to go the eBay route, you can do Poshmark. You can do you can do Tradesy for designer bags. You know, there's just a lot of options. You can do Mercari. There's a lot of other options. And I don't think the RealReal should be your first option. I mean, if you have lots of dead inventory or something and you want to send it in, send it in. Also, I noticed they are being a little pickier. When I did send in the beginning of 2018, they were being a little pickier with the quality, and as far as they used to accept stuff that had like writing on the tag, and then when I sent stuff in the beginning of 2018, they didn't. So, or the end of, whenever I sent it in, they didn't accept it the last time I sent it. So I did receive a lot of stuff back. So I don't really know. It's definitely not for me anymore, the RealReal, but maybe it is for you. This is just my experience. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you found this video informative and helpful. If you were wondering about selling on the RealReal, if you guys have any more current experiences with them, please do leave them in the comments down below. And right now I'm just gonna insert kind of like my history with them. So if you wanna watch that, stay tuned.